happy harvest. It is the day where we pick our hops finally. So these are 5th year hops. I don't know, Alan, when did you send me that? It was years ago, wasn't it? I'm going slightly different this year. I've always kind of done light beers before, and it just never really worked. They're kind of vegetal. Hops, maybe that's the way just they are over here, or maybe it's just, you know, it's whatever the soil is and all that kind of stuff that I don't understand half of it. So yeah, we are doing a stout this time because Andy Lynch sent me a stout with his homegrown fuggles, and you know what, it was really nice. It was really good. So I'm trying to do not the same thing because I don't know what his recipe is, but we're doing a stout anyway. So let's see. I've called it the very catchy name of Wet Hop Stout. 5.4%. Now I've gone a little bit overboard. I literally done this recipe last night, okay, at about 9 o'clock, when I realised I was actually going to do a brew because I needed to get them picked. And then I was thinking, no, but I've got that grain that was milled like a year ago, and it's kind of, I'm losing efficiency, so I've kind of gone up in the hope, rather than just changing the efficiency like in the recipe, but I'd already got the recipe sorted at this point. I thought, well, I'll maybe add a little bit extra. So 5.4, but I'm expecting it to be 5 or under. So basically, we're talking 4.2 kilos of minch pale malt. It's still not the end of that bag. Still got a couple of kilos left. We've got 500 grams of flake barley, 300 grams of roast barley, and I decided to add 500 grams of Cara rye in there because I know Alex, Rock on Beer, is always going on about his rareish stout that he really likes. And I don't think I've ever had rye on a stout before, and I thought, you know what, if anything is going to try and hide the flavour of these hops, these horrible hops of mine, it could be rye, so a Cara rye as well too. So yeah, we're chucking that in, 500 grams, so that is 1.3 kilos of a combination of flake barley, roast barley and Cara rye. And yeah, so if I remembered to add a few kind of handfuls of oat husks or rice hulls, whatever it is I have, as well, and the spard seemed to go through okay. And then lastly, 175 grams of chocolate light. So it's not quite as dark. Well, it is dark, but I mean, it's not going to be jet black, but like that. And then as far as the hops go, right, so I picked a batch last night. I dried them, got them in sealed them up and packaged them, and the rest of them are here. Now I've left a lot still on the bines and around the floor right there, because some of them are really kind of brown and dark. See, like that. So I was trying to leave those. I don't know, my daughter was helping me as well, so maybe she's throwing them in. So yeah, I need to pick the rest of them. So that's kind of what they're looking like this year. Decent. They're not massive. Not the biggest ones I've seen actually this year. The summer started off well. 4 to 6 weeks of just unbroken sunshine weather, and then as soon as July hit, that was dreadful up until this week. So I don't know if that has an effect on the hops, how brown they are, but you know, it happens. So I'm gonna go through them all. So I've got this basically fermenter full of load of them, and I think I'm just gonna go through them all, and as we're boiling, I'll just be throwing them in. Just going through them, just last check for any kind of spiders or anything, any insects that are hiding inside the leaves. And then just disposing any kind of really brown ones that I've got into the box. And yeah, that's it. I've no idea what the alpha acids are. Absolutely no. There's a spider there, look, just as I say that. I have an alliance with the spiders against the flies, so I don't want to kill any of them. So yeah, I don't know what the alpha acids are. Absolutely no idea. They're SAS. Most of them are SAS apart from the one on the other side, which I never really get that much off. So SAS is usually like 3%, isn't it? Something like that. So I don't know what it's any more than that. So I could just tip the whole lot in if I really wanted. And I still don't think it would be particularly bitter. So it's the middle of September-ish, and we're ready to go. This is what we're looking like. So first of all, any other year it's always been a bit of a zigzag up there, but I decided to change it around and put in these bits of wood. I think that one broke actually, and that's why it's got a bit of support. So I'm just trying this new technique, and it seems to definitely do a lot better. Going straight up. If I can get a bigger pole, I think, for next year. I don't really want to spend any money on this, okay? That's the whole idea. I'd rather use stuff I have, which is this, but I might see if I can get some bigger poles and we'll support it a bit better down here. But yeah, so this is what we're looking like now. The papery texture, we're good to go. So I'm going to be picking these and doing a wet hop beer tomorrow, and maybe we'll dry some as well in my tiny dehydrator. So yeah, we've got a good batch. I don't even know what's up the top there. I need a better solution for up here. Yeah, you can see there's that pole. It's come off. This was an extra one I put in just for support, because when the hops started coming out, they just got really heavy, and what with the weather, the wind and whatnot, wasn't great. So it's just hanging on there, nothing more. And yet again, all the way across there. Now, there's a plant here, which is usually the strongest plant. It just hasn't come at all this year. So we've got the two saws there, and then nothing there. And then there is the other one, which has always been a little bit more delicate. You don't get very much of it. This is middle fry. So they'll be just all going into the same beer. So yeah, that's what we're looking like. Thought I'd do this outside, nice and bright out here and warm, very warm. In fact, even though in there is in the shade, it's quite warm. So yeah, there's definitely, I was listening to the music earlier on there, and all the boards I've put up, it's definitely dampened down the sound, which is good. You know, the next door neighbours and whatnot over there, which is good. I'm sure I've said this before, but if there's one thing I would really like to install in this garage, it's like a soundproof box, okay, where I can just go in and scream obscenities at the moon, you know, and howl at the moon and whatnot, just because I can, and then walk out as if nothing happened, because no one would be able to hear. If anyone knows where I can get one of those and install it, that'll be good. So yeah, I'm hoping this beer turns out, because I really fancy a stout. Really loving the dark beers. I was at a wedding last weekend, and basically all they had was like a load of different lagers and Guinness. And yeah, you can guess it was just on the Guinness all the time. So I've got a real taste for it. So now this is not Guinness, obviously, but I'm really hoping that this turns out. Interested to see what it's like with a rye in it as well. Chickens are very noisy, they're getting closer. There's the spider. Ugh, lost you in here. So as far as these hops go, the best beer I've done is probably that one where I mixed the hops with I think it was Citra. So I was just basically doing this and adding the hops one at a time as it was boiling, and then right at the end I threw a load of Citra into it, and it actually tasted pretty good, mainly because the Citra was in it, you know. I can't remember what the ratio is for this. I think it's something like you need 5 times for wet hops. You need 5 times as much, or it's 5 times is the equivalent of like 1 times of dry, something like that. I'm sure someone will correct me if I was wrong. So I haven't even weighed them out either. I'm not really concerned about that. It's just about trying to get a free beer, even though it's not free because I put all that malt in. I'm already starting to get a bit bored with this. I'm throwing in handfuls rather than just one at a time. You know what? I probably should be using a bag, I mean, we used the mosaic the last time I brewed. We did that mosaic with a leaf, and there was quite a lot there, and that was 200 grams of dry. So I'm wondering what this whole fermenter is going to be like in there. I've brewed extra. I've brewed 25 litres. The boil is like 31.5 litres. So, and the reason behind that is because I'm expecting to lose quite a lot with these hops of wort. So, should probably have got the old brew in a bag out, but yeah, it's not too late. I suppose it could still do it, couldn't it? So yeah, the bag probably isn't as good a job as I'd hoped. Because it's not big enough, it's not wide enough. What have we got? Spider, if you're in here, you're about to get chucked into the drink, so you need to show yourself. You're on a 2-minute warning. Are they really gonna do one at a time for like an hour? No. Oh, I see him. See the spider? Yes. I see you. I see you. Don't worry, I'm gonna help you. Here, you go in there. Okay. There we go, all in, and we didn't kill the spider. Excellent. Dead now. Bag's not wide enough to go in properly. But I think if I just keep it like that, it should be okay. And we'll just stir it around every now and again. Because it's boiling, it's blowing the bottom of the bag up. You see that? Right, 23.5 litres, so I was kind of a bit more, I was worried about like it losing all the wort, but it obviously hasn't lost an awful lot. There's still a bit in there, so I might have been able to get up to 24, which is what it was planned for. So in terms of the gravity's looking about 1050. It should be 1055, so there's our drop, okay, which is what I was expecting. I'm not sure what kind of efficiency. I haven't even looked at the kind of efficiency. I didn't do a pre-boil or nothing, so I don't know what the mash efficiency was and all that, etc. and so on. But you know, we are using Cali Common yeast as well too. So back to Old Faithful. So I've been using I've done like saisons and stuff and sour beers and stuff. So and Quebecs and whatnot. California Common. So this is the yeast. This is the house yeast, so to speak, that I use. I like a clean yeast. It's a bit like USO5, but I think it's a bit better flocculent than USO5. But I use it instead, and it's a lot cheaper than that as well too. So I get them 100 gram packets, which is cheaper still, and they just weigh out 10 grams a time, or 20 grams if it's a double. But so that's it now. I suppose we'll give this a taste. I'm sure it's 1050. Let's see, does it taste like cabbage? Tastes like a stout. An incredibly sweet stout. No cabbage, not yet anyway, but it's early days yet. That'll do the trick, wouldn't it? We get down underneath it. Oh, you know what? Just that's not.
No. Oh no, drip.
Okay, this is not going. This is not going very well. Now put the whole bloody bag in. Oh, fuck's sake!
You arsehole.
You absolute arsehole. What were you thinking? What were you thinking? It's been a while since I used the bag. Don't know if I've ever used it on this. This is quite wide, this, so this might not work. So yeah, we may need to just leave it. After all. Yeah, this is really not. This is not working very well at all. Jeez Louise. This might come as a surprise, but boiling water is quite hot.
That's quite hot.